Our redemption is founded upon the joint agreement of all three persons of the Trinity. How Christ pursues his calling. This is here said to be done modestly, without making a noise or raising dust by any pompous coming, as princes are accustomed to do. His voice shall not be heard. His voice indeed was heard, but what voice? Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden. Matthew chapter 11, verse 28. He cried, but how? Ho, every one that thirsteth, come ye to the waters. Isaiah chapter 55, verse 1. And as his coming was modest, so it was mild, which is set down in these words: A bruised reed shall he not break, and smoking flax shall he not quench. We see, therefore, that the condition of those with whom he was to deal was that they were bruised reeds and smoking flax, not trees, but reeds, and not whole, but bruised reeds. The church is compared to weak things, to a dove amongst the fowls, to a vine amongst the plants, to sheep amongst the beasts, to a woman, which is the weaker vessel. God's children are bruised reeds before their conversion, and oftentimes after. Before conversion, all, except such as, being brought up in the church, God has delighted to show himself gracious to from their childhood, are bruised reeds, yet in different degrees as God sees fit. And as there are differences with regard to temperament, gifts, and manner of life, so there are in God's intention to use men in the time to come. For usually he empties such of themselves, and makes them nothing, before he will use them in any great services. What it is to be bruised. The bruised reed is a man that, for the most part, is in some misery, as those were that came to Christ for help. And by misery he is brought to see sin as the cause of it, for whatever pretenses sin makes, they come to an end when we are bruised and broken. He is sensible of sin and misery, even unto bruising, and, seeing no help in himself, is carried with restless desire to have supply from another, with some hope, which a little raises him out of himself to Christ, though he dare not claim any present interest of mercy. This spark of hope being opposed by doubtings and fears rising from corruption makes him as smoking flax, so that both these together, a bruised reed and smoking flax, make up the state of a poor, distressed man. This is such a one as our Savior Christ terms poor in spirit, see Matthew chapter 5, verse 3, who sees his wants and also sees himself indebted to divine justice. He has no means of supply from himself or the creature, and thereupon mourns, and upon some hope of mercy from the promise and examples of those that have obtained mercy, is stirred up to hunger and thirst after it. The good effects of bruising. This bruising is required before conversion, that so the Spirit may make way for himself into the heart by leveling all proud, high thoughts, and that we may understand ourselves to be what indeed we are by nature. We love to wander from ourselves and to be strangers at home, till God bruises us by one cross or other, and then we begin to think, and come home to ourselves with the prodigal. See Luke chapter 15, verse 17. It's a very hard thing to bring a dull and an evasive heart to cry with feeling for mercy. Our hearts, like criminals, until they are beaten from all evasions, never cry for the mercy of the judge. Again, this bruising makes us set a high price upon Christ. Then the gospel becomes the gospel indeed. Then the fig leaves of morality will do us no good. And it makes us more thankful, and from thankfulness more fruitful in our lives. For what makes many so cold and barren, but that bruising for sin never endeared God's grace to them? Likewise, this dealing of God establishes us the more in his ways, having had knocks and bruisings in our own ways. This is